The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the May 22nd wonderful Wednesday edition of today's opening bell on The Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that is what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call You Can Never Solve a Problem on the Same Level as the Problem. Now, one of the best ways to solve a problem, folks, is to lift your consciousness above the level where you have met that problem. You see, problems or obstacles, unanswered questions are unlikely to be seen accurately because they dominate our mental landscape. They cloud our judgment, and getting above the clouds is really the key to solving that problem. You're familiar with the expression, I can't see the forest for the trees? Well, let me give you an example. I personally have always enjoyed going to live sporting events. And in my younger days, well, let's just say I didn't have the best seat in the house. Or did I? Something to think about. So you could say I've sat in the so-called nosebleed section a few times in my life. Maybe some of you folks can relate to that out there. You know, up about as high as the stadium you are in can go. In fact, sometimes my seats were up so high I could actually look and peek out over the stadium. Now, if you've ever sat in those seats, folks, what you would notice is that the game looks a whole lot different than when you're sitting up front in some of the best seats in the house. But from up high, you really get the perspective of how the game is unfolding. It's an incredible perspective to be up above the game, only look down and see how the plays are unfolding. It's that perspective. It is that perspective that lets you really see how to win the game, or better yet, how to solve a problem. You know, in sporting events such as football, it helps you to more easily see blown coverages out there, maybe open players if you're on the offense. You know, if you think about it, if you take a look at where all of the coaches that are relaying the information back down to the field in a football game, they're not sitting down at ground level. They're up higher. They're up in those boxes, up as high as they can possibly get, where they can still communicate down. Well, folks, a lifted consciousness, or getting above the clouds, functions like a hot air balloon, and it provides you with a perspective that will aid in solving any of your problems. If you watch successful golfers, they will visualize a shot before they make their swing. It's like an out-of-body experience. So the next time that you need to solve a problem, like I would assume that would be today, because we all have problems that we have to solve. We all have these unanswered questions. Step back. Take a look at yourself, or maybe just take yourself to a higher level, and always remember this, folks, you can never solve a problem on the same level as the problem. Let's go check out these markets here. There's no problems for the bulls. Right now, we've got the Dow futures up about 28 points right now, trading at 15,383. Says the Dow cash would open up maybe about 18 points or so. S&P futures up 4 right now, trading at 1669. NASDAQ futures up 10 points, trading at 3031. NASDAQ futures would open up about 6 point. Russell 2000 up, trading right now at 998, up about 1.5 points. King dollar just slightly green. We've got the euro up about 36 ticks right now. Goldilocks trading at $13.90. That's up $12 and change right now. Silver up 28 cents, trading out at $22.74. Light sweet crude, what's this? It's back 57 cents right now, trading at $95.61. Copper up, that is something to think about. Platinum up $16, trading at $14.74. We take a look around the world here. Last night we had Asia. 2 out of 3 were in the red. Well, we had one basically unchanged. That was the Shanghai out there. That was off about 3 points. The Hang Seng down 105, and the Nikkei, well, the Nikkei back to its antics of continuing its move higher, up 1 6/10%, up 246 points. The DAX right now is off 4 points, so we got a flat market over in Germany. And over in London, the FTSE is up 11 points, so not a lot out there. We got Uncle Ben on the stump here in about 45 minutes or so at about 10 o'clock. So I suspect we'll see the markets really not do a whole heck of a lot. Let's go take a look here at the EKG of the ES Mini of the S&P futures. Let's go see what they have done thus far. We take a look for bulls and bears, see where they're hanging out. You know, we were talking about where the bulls were hanging out yesterday. We had those hammer candles identified. I won't go back but what you should do, actually, is go back and listen to the archive of yesterday's show, 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock show out there, because I think even the 10 o'clock show, we watched the push down into the 11 o'clock hour, I think between 10:30 and 11. We watched the push down by the Bears. That was right here. We take a look at it. That was, in fact, coming in at 10:30, and it was coming right into areas where we know that the Bulls were defending their position. There was this candle. In fact, let me just turn this off here real quickly. We had this little hammer candle. Not a little hammer candle. It was one at 2:30 in the afternoon on May 20th. That said that low was going to be defended, 1661. That is exactly what we saw. We saw a little small hammer candle that took place at 6 in the morning as well. That low was at 1661.25. You can see here was that push lower coming in to that 10:30 time frame. I'll just draw a line across my screen here just so you can re-see it now, right? So if don't go back and look at the archive show. But what we clearly could identify was where were the Bulls hanging out? Where were they defending their position? It was as clear as day. Then if we started to take a look at right now, where are the Bears defending any positions? Well, they did create a little shooting star candle coming into 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday, followed up by a little bearish engulfing. So where we have a hammer at the bottom, we have a shooting star. That's the cousin to the hammer up here at the top. That says that the Bears trying to defend a position up at about the 1673 mark out there. And then as far as the rest of the trading session, 5 o'clock this morning, we had some bears show up early for work, creating this little bearish engulfing candle right here at 5 a.m. But otherwise, not a whole lot of bear sightings in the marketplace. We can see here, if you take a look at, if you're watching us on Tiger TV, maybe you're listening on your mobile device or the radio station. If you are, thank you so much for doing that. Remember, you can catch the live stream of this show by going to the homepage of TFNN.com. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see that button with 3 smartphones. Click on that. This show will stream live, and of course, you can get the archive on Channel 9. We are taking a look at these 4 little moving averages out here. They help to identify momentum, and right now, momentum is bullish here. We've got the 8-day above the 21, above the 50, and then above the 200. When you get them in that order, it's a great tool to understand the momentum of the marketplace out here. And right now, you can see that the Bulls still have the ball. They got the ball. There's no question about it. We do take a look at coming in here to the open. Not really, you're up towards the overbought territory, but not up at the extreme levels. Right now, the highest RSI reading about 64 out there, so still a little bit of room to move to the upside. We take a look at retracement levels here right now. Made about a 70% retracement from that little shooting star high at 2:30 in the afternoon, out at 1673, down to the high that came in here at 8:30 this morning. That level was 1670.75. The 0.786 retracement from high to low, well, that exact number would be 1671.43 out here. Again, I expect that what we'll see is a relatively quiet market here until Uncle Ben starts speaking. Then we'll go see how the market is going to digest that news. If we take a look at the NQ out here, the NASDAQ futures, what we can see is the NASDAQ futures actually did really the same thing with regard to candle formations out here. Again, what we're looking at is the 30-minute chart here on the NASDAQ futures. They also formed this little shooting star candle that came in at 2:30 yesterday afternoon. So we know that the bears here trying to defend a position right around the 3,036.75 level. Of course, as that shooting star was being formed, it was also making a expansion, a Fibonacci expansion of 1.272. That was from the high that came in at 12 noon on May the 20th. That level was 3,032. That was the high. The low, or the expansion that it was coming off of, would have been the 2:30 session on May 20th. and that low was 3,010. So about a 1.272 expansion of that area. Now what we see here, coming into the 8:30 session, we can see a fairly wide-ranging bar. What stopped that in place? Well, was a 0.786 retracement as it got back to the 3,032 level. RSI about 67 there, so you could say it's close again to that overbought range out here. Again, just expect, we can also see we've got the four little moving average indicators out here, so the bull's still in control of the NASDAQ futures. We get back, we'll go take a look at Goldilocks, silver, some of the currency markets out there. But first, what we'll do, we'll come back, we'll take a look at some of these stocks here popping and dropping in the pre-market. American Eagle Outfitters will be one of them. Diana Shipping is another. We'll be right back, folks.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. With the launch of TigerTV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. I do believe he got it at Zales. We go take a look at Zales Corp. ZLC is the ticker symbol out here. They turned in revenues of $442 million versus $445 from the prior year. Net earnings, though, $5 million versus a loss of nearly $5 million from the prior year. Zales closed out at $5.40. The last trade just fired off at $7.14. That is a 32% jump that we are going to see inside Zales. 7-11 is the last trade that just fired off, and 7.16 happens to close the gap. We are taking a look at the Zales chart on my screen here right now. We can see huge downdraft. Maybe this was a earnings release back in November. I don't know what was behind that. What we do know is that they were jumping ship out of Zales on November 21st. This had 6 million shares to the downside. This is going to open right back up at the gap. Those folks that happen to be in this equity and maybe bought in on November 20th, 2012, out at the 750-ish to 716 range, they probably weren't feeling too good as it was making a low down here at about $3.76. So we'll see what kind of buying continues in this equity as it makes a big 35% jump here this morning. Now, as we take a look at the Zales chart, the time to have been buying this equity here, if you take a look coming down to the lows that were created on February 25th, again, it gets down to about $3.76 down there, 826,000 shares. Actually created a little three-candle bullish three-candle reversal signal. The morning star pattern out here, that's the sessions of February 22nd, February 25th, and the 26th out there. Then Zales just really kind of hangs inside this body here, this wide-ranging bar from February 21st, never really breaks, never does break above that level, creates and comes back and tests that low. Now, doesn't test the entire low of the swing point, which was 376, 826,000 shares, but did get down to a low of 380 with only 296,000 shares, so lighter volume by quite a bit. And what did it form down there? Yes, exactly. It formed a little hammer candle out there. So that's important because that was telling you where the bulls were hanging out. And then what does it do? Comes back and tests it once, that area, one more time. This time it does get down to 376, 310,000 shares, going against 826. We can see here, that the relative strength was saying, well, it's getting more strong, not weak out here as it continued to test those lows. One more three-candle morning star pattern out here, and then it just simply has moved higher. Now, interestingly enough, we have the Bears that were defending their position recently. That was on May the 15th, little shooting star out there. Yesterday, a little bearish engulfing candle. But take a look at that those four moving averages just to give you an idea of momentum inside the stock. Actually went ahead and turned positive where everything was lined up. 8 above 21, above 50, and now above the 200. That took place here 2 trading sessions ago on May the 17th out there. Something to think about. And now it's going to have a nice little 35% pop. So he must have bought it at Zales. Let's go take a look at some of these other stocks out here that are moving. Toll Brothers out with numbers, before the bell. Toll Brothers reported revenues of $516 million versus $373. So that is nice there. Let's see, net income $24 million versus $16. So TOL is the ticker symbol. Let's go take a look at this stock chart. Oh, give me a second. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to actually go right to the stock chart. Here we go. As we take a look at Toll Brothers, that is right now trading out. Last trade just fired off at 38.10. 38.10 is going to take it back up to the top of its, above its swing point. So here, 38.10 is going to take it into the January 29th swing point high. That low is 37.33. The high is 38.36. We'll go ahead and pull this back here. Of course, if I go back and take a look at that Zales chart, you will say it looks like it's really a diamond in the rough out there. And I'll do that during the when we come back after the next break or what have you. Or maybe I'll get a chance to do it before then. But as we do come back and we take a look at Toll Brothers out here, he is going to go ahead and try and take out the swing point high from January 29th. Again, 38.36 volume there, 3.9 million shares. As we take a look at Toll Brothers, let's see here. Do we have some bears hanging out here? Well, we have a few. You've got this little bearish engulfing candle right here, a little dark cloud cover candle that came in right on the January 28th level. So that's going to be an area of resistance. You close above an area of resistance, then what happens? That should become an area of support. Of course, we can see that this has been consolidating really for quite some time, since about August of 2012. About the $28 range at its lows, up to about the, we'll call it the $37 range at its highs. Let's see, $37.28, looks like about a $9 move. So if you get above 37, that says, what's this one, $46 or so. 877-927-6648.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited to launch our brand new software charting program, The Art of the Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind software, Art of the Charts allows you to scan for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, butterflies, ABCs, and much more. Art of the Charts is designed to help you when scouring the market for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, and even months searching to find. As part of our introductory pricing, we're offering licenses available at only $59 per month. We're so confident that you'll love this new outstanding piece of charting software that we'll even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Lock in your low price today by ordering your copy at TFNN.com. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
To the races. We got the Dow up 14 points. Trade out at 15,403. S&P up about 2. Trade at 1670. Composite up a point at 35.03. Russell 2000 up a point at 9.99 out here. Google off $2. Apple up 6.50. Microsoft down 30 cents. Intel off a nickel. Cisco down 12 cents. Leading the charge to the upside is Apple up $6. Right behind them, Pioneer Natural Resources. PXD is their ticker symbol. Could be a tickle symbol too, but they're up $7 and change actually. Toll Brothers up $2.31. Solar City SCTY up $3. Intuit up a couple bucks this morning. Cree CREE up a couple bucks. Celgene up 2 as well. Saks SKS having a great session here, up 15%, up $2 and change. NetApp out with earnings. NTAP up 4%. Zales up 30% right now, trading at $7 here. We've got Unipixel up 6%. That's up $1.45. Bristol Myers Squibb up 3.5%, up $1.50. To the downside, leading the charge of the downside is Priceline.com, off $16. But what's behind that, folks, is they have completed the acquisition of Kayak Software. Part of that deal was cash of about $520 million, plus the issuance of $1.5 million of common shares, and I believe the assumption of some of the stock options that were out there. So that is probably what is really impacting Priceline. That is a big rocket ship out there. That is one of the best performing stocks, period. Amazon.com is down $3 right now, off 1%. Google off just a tad, down $2. Catamaran CTRX off 5% this morning, off $2.40. Netflix down $2.60. Target TGT down $2.20. Medicines Company MDCO off $1.90. CVR Partners UAN off $1.70. United Rentals URI off $1.50. Our call number is 877-927-6648. Real quickly here as we go back to the charts here, as we take a look at Zales again, gapping up, moving up into the area where it had a big downdraft. That big downdraft was 6 million shares to the downside. So in 6 minutes of trading, they've done 1 million shares. Good volume up here. We'll see if it can really bust through this level. I imagine a number of folks just glad to get their money back. Now, if I do put this on the weekly chart, what you'll see is that maybe not enough. There we go. Now as I pull it back, take a look at Zales. This thing traded back in 2008 out at about $32, $31.16 to be exact was its high. It's trading at $7 here right now. Take a look at this consolidation pattern. Now, may not be bad to pay notice to it. We'll just simply go ahead and color this in. Let me grab the right box here. So take a look at this consolidation pattern inside Zales. It's been consolidating at these levels here. Let's draw it in on the stock chart, on the chart here. We'll say that is basically the consolidation level for Zales. So it's been consolidating ever since the lows of 2009. Almost looks more like the financials as opposed to a retailer out here. The consolidation low on this, in case it ever breaks out, about $1.35. We'll call it $1, up to the highs of maybe about $7.50. So we'll call it $7. So about a $6 consolidation range. If it ever does break above this area, and above this area would really mean a close above 851. It's at 695 right now. You could add that $6 to it, and that would say you would head up to about $14 or so. That is the September 18, 2009 swing point high at 851 that I'm taking a look at. But otherwise, this thing just truly consolidating for quite a period of time. That's why you want to make sure that you take a look at any stock chart that you've got out there and make sure you look at it on different time frames. And, I opened up the show talking about solve a problem. It's always good to step back, maybe, take yourself above the problem. Well, when you take a look at stock charting out here, maybe you're looking at a daily chart or an intraday chart. Well, part of being able to lift yourself above that is to go up to higher levels out here. Pull the stock chart back further, go further to your left. Take a look at it on different time frames and so forth, and that's really what it's all about. That's how you solve problems, or really it's how you get a better perspective, and will make it a little bit easier for you to either solve the riddle of the stock chart or solve whichever riddle it is that you are dealing with in life out here. So that was Zales. Let's go continue taking a look at some of these stocks here that are moving and grooving. Let's go take a look here. Let's see, biggest leader on the upside here, SAX, SKX is the SKS is the ticker symbol. So they were out with earnings. Let me see, what do their numbers look like here? SAX, I love that department store. Let's see, I don't see the numbers. The numbers came out yesterday. But let's go take a look and see what it is doing out here. I think I've got that somewhere right here on this list. There we go. SKS, gapping up this morning, gapping up pretty large. Had some nice volume yesterday and big follow through today here. So up with so far 2.4 million shares. Yesterday did 12 million shares. I think I heard Tom saying that the majority, let's go and put the majority of volume came in during the last couple of trades out here. So let me put this on a 10-minute chart here real quickly. And, yesterday during the last 10 minutes of trading, 1.2 million shares out there. So big volume here today, additional follow-through. Let's put this on the longer-term time frame. Let's put this on a weekly chart out here and see where this is headed to. So volume-wise, on a weekly basis, could be taken out a swing point here from February 18, 2011. 10.5 million shares so far this week. It's done 16, so it's already taken it out. So now let's go take a look at what that A to B equals CD looks like on the weekly scale out here, and we'll take a look, give you those numbers. So your A point is going to be your low. Looks like your low, March 13, 2009. No big surprise out there. That low is $1.50. The high out here coming in, your B point, February 18th. That high, $12.97, 10.5 million shares. Makes a retracement. Looks like maybe more like a 0.382 retracement to me. How about to you? We'll go measure it. But the C point on this is 767, 27 million shares. Now, that 27 million shares, if you take a look at what it was doing on the weekly basis, it was going against this high volume low. So it was testing this high volume weekly low, which was from September 3rd, 2010. That had 81 million shares. Was a nice bullish candle out here. That 81 million shares, it was only going against 27 million shares, and they've got another bullish candle that took place the following week of August 26, 2011. Well, if we take a look at that retracement, the A to B leg, so we're really looking at what's that B to C retracement. What we're going to see is just below the 0.382 level. What's that tell you? That says that, you know what? SAX wants to take a run up to the 22.23 level. First stop, though, is going to be 19.12. It's trading at 15.74 right now. 22.27 will take it all the way back to its swing point highs into 2007 out there. But looks like SAX wants to make a run, not just to the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, but more likely over time, the 1 to 1.272 out there. That was on SAX. Let's go see what else we got out here moving and grooving. Let's take a look at to the downside. Let's go take a look at Solar Winds, SWI out here. Let me see where Solar Winds was out with numbers a while back, I believe. So what are they? Oh, let's see here. Solar Winds enters into agreement to acquire privately held Enable Technology. So got a lot of mergers and acquisitions going on. But nonetheless, let's go take a look at Solar Winds, see what it's trading back into here. Ooh, that's not good looking. That's not good. So let's take us back a little bit further here. Let's make sure that we look at everything. So Solar Winds, boy, it's got this really nasty high volume low that's not been tested back in July of 2010. That's at 12.52. But let's not start there. Let's go take a look at what it's trading into. What it's trading into is a sign of strength out here. So that sign of strength really going to be back here. The sign of strength, most recent, what I'll call sign of strength, or where the sign of strength began, I'll try to not confuse you too much, is on the trading session of April the 26th out here. Moves up, gaps up with 4 million shares. So let's draw a couple lines across the screen out here. We can see that price actually got inside that gap, and it did that here on the trading session of July 19th. And never actually closed that gap. Let me draw the line. We'll use a black line to go across the screen there. Again, if you're following us on your own software, SWI is the ticker symbol here. So as we take a look at this, and we pull this back just a tad further. So what this is doing here right now, you've got volume today, 380,000 shares, going against its most recent swing point, which has 2 million shares. So it's got the volume to take that area out. But what's going to be the area where this is going to hold as support out here? Well, it's likely going to be right inside the same general area where it last traded down to, unless we start to see volume in excess of, let's say, 3 million shares out here. You had 3 million shares the session of July 9th out here. And so if it moves down below the price point of this candle breakout on April 26th, this gap up, which is going to be 41.62, and since that level has been broken once, I would suspect that it could be broken again out here, and maybe SolarWinds is a buy as it comes back into this original breakout area from April 25th. What you've got to be concerned about is this trading session right here, which was on May 1st out here, which was a big sell-off inside the overall market. 6.5 million shares was SolarWinds to the downside out here, so there was some institutional selling, no doubt, going on. But if this comes back into this area, this original breakout here, on lighter volume, which would be the 36.45 area on April 25th, then if you were looking to get in on SolarWinds, that might be the spot to go ahead and take a trade. What you don't want to see this do is get below 35.34. Your stop on a trade like that would have to be somewhere below 35.34. And I would say what I would be doing is looking at this high volume bar here on February 7th, and that low is actually 34.38. So you need to give this thing a little bit of a wide berth as it gets down into that area. But if you got volume picking it up to the downside, and volume picking up to the downside means you get volume expanding beyond 6.5 million shares, then don't get inside this equity here, because that would be taking out the B point of a larger A to B equals CD down. That was at downdraft day from May 1st out there. So that's SolarWinds right now so far, 467,000 shares. Watch the volume on this one. If we go take a look here at, let's see, we got Catamaran, CTRX. Haven't looked at this for a while, so let's go see what CTRX is doing out here. And then we'll go take a look at the commodity. So Catamaran here is moving back into a area where it also had a nice sign of strength. So this actually looks better than SolarWinds does, because you don't see that volume coming out of it. This equity here, April 18th, a nice move up with 26 million shares. That level has been tested a few times. It was tested back in July with 2.8 million shares, 1.8 million shares on July 25th, another 2.6 million shares on July 27th. So that area was tested and held. It was also tested once again back in August of 2012 with 1.2 million shares. So that would be an area of a nice possible buy. We can see here also moving down towards the oversold territory. So far today, the low has been 46.29. It's done 920,000 shares. Let me see what's behind the move here, if I can see anything. Not a darn thing that shows up on my screen here. So this is Catamaran, and let's see, what do we have up here at the highs? Any high volume at the highs? Not really. A little bit of a downdraft here, a little bit of volume off the highs that took place on May 2nd with 4.5 million shares, but really not too bad here considering that huge breakout that this thing had. Now, it does have the open gap, which is the low of April 17th out there, and that is at $40.83. But this may be something you'd want to entertain as it comes back into the 42-43 range. That's the April 18th breakout area. That is on Catamaran. CTRX is their ticker symbol. So now let's switch over and let's go take a look at the commodity marketplace. Let's go take a look at gold. Gold trading up $7 right now. Silver up 15 cents. King dollar is back a couple of bucks. But let's go peek in here on gold. Give me a moment here. We'll go ahead and pull the chart up on the screen. Let's start off by taking a look at the daily chart here on gold. So gold here yesterday, giving back. It had a nice bullish candle that set up two trading sessions ago. But that bullish candle basically got erased yesterday as we take a look at it. So that little piercing candle, that piercing candle basically very close to being erased because, if we take a look at yesterday's close and we blend these two candles together, it still becomes a piercing candle because it's a little bit more than halfway into that bar from May 17th out here. But it's important to notice if we take a look at this here on the daily gold chart out here, I've got really the four moving averages out here. So you've got the 8-day is the one that is holding this in check here right now. 8-day, 9-day. Basil uses a 9-day. When I take a look at using these four moving averages, I'm using 8 and 21. So either one is going to work just fine. But you can see that 8 or 9-day is holding gold here in check at this moment. Still trading inside this swing point out here. That swing point from April the 16th. And, one of the keys here is to realize that we've got the tale of two stories out here. I told you that tale yesterday. I'll pull that stock chart up on my screen for you once more. And that tale is that what we're seeing here is the large commercials, the big money, have taken the smallest net short position that they've had. It's like it's historical. Well, historical since the CFTC started publishing that data, whereas the individual traders, the non-reportables, they are at the largest short position ever. So there's going to be some really massive, significant short covering rallies, but it's not coming from the big guys. They're already taking long positions inside gold. There is a bottom being formed out here. The question is it now, or is it when we test those lows? We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, the Dow's up 41 points. S&P is up almost 5, trading at 1673. Composite up 10. Russell 2000 up 3. So the leader in the clubhouse is the, we're going to call it the composite, which is up 0.3% out there. Apple's up $8. Google back $3 and change. Priceline now only down about $9 at the moment. So, we're talking about gold earlier, and really what I was showing you was the weekly chart out here, and the tale of two stories on that weekly chart. And that's taking a look at the large commercials, which are really taking a really net, if you will, their smallest net short position. I mean, that's the only way you can look at it, and that is that's longer term bullish out here. But when we take a look at the non-reportables, we take a look at those individual traders at their highest net short position. Any glimpses of a move higher, and you're going to see some significant short covering rally. So the real question is, are we going to see the low tested here, whether it's the weekly low, which is April 19th out at 1321.50. Now on the weekly chart, there were 2 million contracts back there. This week, it's nice. You're coming back with, so far through yesterday, in essence, 487,000 contracts. So coming back there on some lighter volume. Ideally, what you'd like to see is a test of that 1381 level. You'd like our 1321.50 level. You'd love to see that, knowing what it is that we've got here, because that's where you can see the biggest short covering rally. So I'd say be paying attention. Now, of course, what we have is it's important to be paying attention to what's going on with the King, with the U.S. dollar index. So as we switch over to the U.S. dollar index here, it's not been willing to give up much here. If we take a look at using just simply those three moving averages, everything's still lined up. Just like when we took a look at the opening of the show, we looked at the 30-minute chart on the ES Mini. Everything here is still lined up from a bullish standpoint, both candle-wise, both the mere fact that it has broken that 100% move of a move out there. So you've got an important double top. The mere fact that we have broken that 0.786 Gartley pattern here, that Gartley sell pattern. We know those turn into butterflies. In fact, we can go switch over here right now. We'll switch over to the XLK. That's important to take a look at. The XLK, which is the technology sector inside the S&P 500, that had a 0.786 Gartley sell pattern, which had formed on April the 10th. We saw a little bit of a sell-off. That sell-off took price inside the XLK right back to where it had a strong area of support. And that support was the breakout session on January 2nd. Now, you can see a wide gap in here. And so on that wide gap, the area that is held as a support level has been right around the lows here of January 8th candle out here at 29.19. So the volume on that breakout session was 15 million shares. It was tested with 8 million shares back there on January 15th. It was tested with 8.6 million on April the 19th. So that's an important area of support. That's all that took place during that 0.786 Gartley sell. I don't even think that made the first objective. Let's take a look at it. First objective would be the 0.382 level. I take that back. I'm remiss. It did make at least that first dead cat bounce level out at 29.32 out there. typically you're going to at least get down to the 0.618 area, which would have been 28.52. But that breakout session from December 31st, January 2nd, in essence, that was strong. Now, what happens? The 0.786 Gartley sell pattern fails. What does that set up? Yes, just like we looked at on the U.S. dollar index, just like we're looking at here, it sets up a move to the butterfly. In this case here, you're looking at 32.97. It's trading at 32.12 right now. Well, folks, our time is up. Have a great Wednesday, and always remember you have an amazing power within yourself, and that power is so strong, it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent masterpieces, but most of all, folks, create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family. Have a great Wednesday, folks.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.